Good afternoon. My name is Harold S. Jr. I am a Fellowman of Groove Phi Groove Social Fellowship Incorporated. I am serving as the International Parliamentarian for the Fellowship, and more specifically and locally, I'm a member of the Central Jersey Graduate Chapter of Groove Phi Groove Social Fellowship. A little bit more background about myself. I'm a retired police officer with the Township of Woodbridge, New Jersey. I'm a United States Air Force Desert Storm War veteran. I was a medical services specialist during the war, and then after the war, I cross-trained into security forces, which is basically the Air Force's version of the police. And then later on in life, I actually became a cop. Also, you can see by the belts behind me, I'm a martial artist, martial arts instructor specifically, and motivational speaker, published author, and certified professional life coach. So in these 49 years and change, I've got a lot going on. I want to talk to you for the next couple of minutes about the future, however, because the present ain't looking too good. Now, we could either learn from where we've been, learn from where we are, and write a new great future for ourselves, or we can just stay where we are and be where we are. Right? It's easy to get caught up in the comfort of the present. It's easy to get caught up in the comfort of, this is what I got going on, it's a good thing. Next thing you know, tomorrow it's a good thing. The day after it's a good thing. 5, 6, 7 years from now, it may still feel like a good thing, but everybody else is moving on in their lives, and what you have don't look so good no more. Right? So what are some of the things that we have to do in order to prepare a better future for ourselves, and more importantly, a better future for our children? I'm going to give you a couple of things. One, read. I'm not saying that just because it's my last name. I'm telling you to read. A lot of people think that just because they're out of school, they don't have to pick up a book anymore. But I'm also going to tell you that the secrets to getting the best things out of life aren't in some box that's buried underground somewhere. It's not in some, depending on who's watching this, please don't take offense, but it's not in some white man's vault somewhere, right? No, the secret to getting the things that you want to get in life are in between the pages of books, period. I wouldn't be where I am or have the things that I have if it were not for reading books. Books literally changed my life. I can literally tell you which books changed the trajectory of my life, but I won't. But you have to find your own books. Find something that you're going to be interested in. I'm not saying you have to find how-to books and so on and so forth. Just read to broaden your mind, expand your horizons. You can read for entertainment. See, I read for personal development, but that is what also entertains me. You can read like romance novels. You can read science fiction. You can read history, but read something. Because one, it's going to expand your vocabulary. Two, it's going to expand your view, because it's going to make, this is what I'm trying to get my fifth grader, my little 10-year-old to understand. It's going to make your mind work. Now, before I move into the next points, I want to stay on this for a hot second. My son loves to get on. He's 10. He's fifth grade. He's Fortnite junkie, right? Or he's watching movies on the iPad or the television or what have you. The television. And I had to really sit him down and explain to him why I want him to read just as much, if not more, than watching television. Television. Vision. Now, for those of you of a certain age, what did they call television shows before they started calling them television shows? They called them television programs. So what was the whole industry called? Television programming. Vision programming. They're going to tell you a vision, programming it into your head. See, problem thing is with books, you reading what somebody else wrote, and it broadens your mind. It makes your mind work. It causes your imagination to actually have to do something, as opposed to watching somebody else's vision in front of you on the screen. So read. It's like the old saying goes, reading is fundamental. The next piece of advice I would give you towards improving your future and that of your children would be to become more financially literate than you may currently be. And if you are not financially literate at all, that's okay. The system was designed for us not to be. However, we are not victims of that system anymore, nor do we have to be. So the resources are out there for you to learn how to open up a IRA. The system is out there. There are resources out there for you to learn how to trade stocks, and you don't have to be making multi-million-dollar shares. As a matter of fact, I am going to give you a book that you can look up, and this book is called Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan. And he's talking about people from all walks of life, right, who basically learn how to invest their money the right way and did it with ample time to where it could compound and grow. And these people with regular jobs became millionaires. There's not one athlete or entertainer in this book that he's talking about. They're literally everyday millionaires. So it's very important that you become financially literate. And especially when you're dealing with your children, and if those of you watching have children who are teenagers or college students or what have you, I cannot stress the importance of you stressing the importance to them that the more they take care of their credit now, the better their credit will be able to take care of them later on in life. Some of us may have had to learn that the hard way ourselves. So being that we learned those lessons, that's a pitfall that we can help our children navigate around. That's a pitfall we can help our children totally avoid altogether. All right. So definitely become financially literate. Learn about different types of insurance vehicles. Learn what life insurance vehicles are best suited for your family situation now, and what will be best suited for your family situation in the future. Because quite frankly, that is how the man got rich. Let me explain to you the cycle how the man got rich. First of all, we all know the history of how this land got incorporated, okay, or appropriated. But nonetheless, when people started owning land, when they started insuring land, the company says, as long as you give us your money, if something happens to your property, we'll take care of it. We'll pay you for that, right? So what did these people do? They insured their lives. They insured their property, right? So if anything happened to their property, they would be able to have the resources and the funds to rebuild. If anything happened to the primary breadwinner of the household, there would be resources in order to hopefully not just bury that person, but still be able to sustain the family. Now, before that person passed away, what they would also do is teach their children how to do these things. See, this is how you create generational wealth. See, the problem with a lot of ethnicities is they will look at, and those who this applies to know who I'm talking about, but they will actually say, I'm not going to get $1 million life insurance policy. I'm not getting any of that money. So I'm supposed to get $1 million life insurance policy so y'all could party when I die? No. And that is why so many people of color are broke to this day, and so many people not of color are not. Because they insure their property, they insure themselves, they insure their businesses, and then they teach their children how to grow up, learn about the rules of money, learn how to insure themselves, learn how to insure their businesses, and so on and so forth. And then year after year, learn how to invest that money. Learn how to invest that money. Insure yourself, insure your property, insure your business, and then the money that you make, pay your bills, invest the rest. These are all secrets that exist within the confines of financial literacy. I could go on just for days on that, but I want you to pick up the mantle for yourself and do your own research. Read. It always goes back to reading. All right. So we talked about financial independence, reading in general. Finally, I want to talk to you about the law. Now, as I said in the beginning, I'm a retired police officer. We're going through some tough times right now. And one of the hardest things I've had to deal with throughout my career was that people say, I know the law, I know the law. Some of you may be sitting like, I know the law. And you don't know the law. You do not know the law. And I'm not saying that to make anyone feel ignorant, which is lack of knowledge, not an absence of knowledge. So it's okay to be ignorant, but once you realize you're ignorant, you go seek the knowledge that you're lacking. All right? But you need a degree, you need a license in order to practice law. In order to learn the law, all you really need in the year 2020 is the ability to read. Notice how everything goes back to reading. I'm not just saying it because it's my last name, but notice how everything goes back to reading. In order to learn the law, all you need is the ability to read, access to Google, and a modicum of good damn sense. Notice I didn't say common sense. If common sense were common, everyone would have it, right? So the ability to read, access to Google, and a modicum, a measure of good sense, all right? You can look up the laws of your own state. You can look up the laws of your own municipality. You can look up the laws within your county. You can look up the laws within the government. You can look up the laws on any civilized nation on this planet if it's on Google, right? And you can read how the law works. You can read how to work the law. You don't need a degree. You don't need a license for that. You don't need, but if you're going to go through life, especially the way things are today, you can't go head on into these issues that we're dealing with and only have your experience of what the law is be all the movies and TV shows you watched growing up. It's unacceptable, because you could ruin an otherwise intelligent argument by not knowing what you're talking about. You could have the most valid points to get across in this space, but if you do not have the proper verbiage, if you do not have the proper knowledge, if you do not use the proper context, we all know somebody that be using big words they don't have any business using, right? But that's what you're gonna look like, and we don't want that. So I wanted to share these things with you in order to just give you a little bit of insight into some things that we can do to better ourselves today and implement these things to better the lives of our children. So just a quick review, all right? Read, all right? Become better at being financially literate, all right? And all the areas that I addressed in there, okay? And finally, learn about the law. Take some time to learn about the law and do it responsibly. And notice everything goes back to reading, because instead of television programming you just gonna read and program yourself. Don't let Facebook, don't let Twitter, don't let TikTok have you out of your mind. Okay? Learn for yourself. And I believe when you learn for yourself, you learn of yourself, you learn about yourself, and then you become a greater asset to all of us. All right? Again, my name is Harold S. Reed Jr., proud fellowman of Groove 5 Groove Social Fellowship Incorporated. If you want to reach out to me further beyond this video, my website is www.coachhrjr.com. You can find me on Twitter at The Ice Talks, THEICETALKS. I also have a podcast of the same name, The Ice Talks. You can find it on iHeartRadio, iTunes, whichever. It's out there. Just Google, and that's the access to Google The Ice Talks. All right. And if you just want to hit me up on Facebook, I go by my regular name, Harold S. Reed Jr. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it is my initials, at HS Reed Jr. All right? That's it. You guys have yourselves a great weekend. Have yourselves a great 2020 as best we can. But know this. We're going to get through it and we're going to be all right. That's my word to you. Peace.